take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, just close those eyes and allow your eyelids to completely relax. That's it. Breathing in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And finding it, breath by breath, easier to just exhale that tension. Taking you deeper and deeper. Relaxed. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine that you are breathing in not just resources, but a reminder of your high standards. Breathing in that resourceful feeling of discernment. And some people would call discernment choices related to standards. Sometimes doing things that are more challenging, more time consuming, that require effort, but that demonstrate higher standards. And as you breathe in that resourceful feeling, I want you to feel that your standards are getting higher and higher as your body gets more and more relaxed. That's it, deeper and deeper, relaxed. And as your body relaxes, your imagination can become more vivid, more alert. Because isn't that what happens when you sleep? As your physical body relaxes, doesn't your imagination start to wake up? So that inside your dreams, you can go on adventures that you can't do in real life. But your imagination still knows how to have fun. To do things that you don't normally do. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to realize that what you can't do with the laws of physics doesn't apply to your imagination. To physically be somewhere requires transportation, travel, logistics. But to think about being somewhere means you've got the superpower of teleportation. In fact, I want you to look back in your memory and think of the last time that you were in the Maldives on a beach about to go diving. I want you to imagine you're there right now, wearing whatever clothing is appropriate to be in that place. Perhaps you're barefoot on the sand, feeling the warmth of the sun on your body, on your skin, on your face. Maybe feeling the texture of the sand in between your toes or under your feet. You can see the blueness of the sky, the clearness of the water. Maybe there's the occasional palm tree or plant around. Gentle breeze. I want you to get a sense of feeling so deeply relaxed here. So far away from any responsibilities, any challenges, any problems or difficulties, so very far away. And you've got this all to yourself. This beach is a private beach, just for you. I want you to imagine not only are you breathing in a feeling of resourcefulness, of higher and higher standards, but also that the sun is melting away any and all tension in your body, almost like ice cubes melting in the sun. Get a sense of feeling deeper and deeper, relaxed. So relaxed, in fact, I want you to imagine there is a sun lounger or perhaps hammock nearby, somewhere that looks inviting. You look at it, you say to yourself, That's perfect. And you take a seat or lie on that place. Feel your body sinking in. Feel your arms and legs getting heavier and heavier, and I'll count down from 5 to 1, and you will imagine falling asleep there by the side of that beach, still hearing the waves gently breaking on the shore. That's it. Deeper and deeper. Relax. 5. Eyes getting heavier and heavier. That's it. Deeper and deeper. Relaxed. 4. Neck, shoulders relaxing. That's it. 3. Taking a deep breath in. Exhaling any tension out. That's it. 2 and 1. Deeper and deeper. Relaxed. And imagine falling asleep there by the side of that beach. Deeply, deeply asleep. All the way asleep now. That's it. And you can do what you normally do when you sleep. Muscles relax. But your brain gets more active. And I want you to imagine that while your physical body is there taking a nap by the side of that beach, your imagination is swimming in the water. That's it. Swimming there in the water now. Under the water, under the surface of the waves. Almost like it's a different place. You can see the fish, some of the sunlight going from the surface of the water, going beneath you. A feeling of weightlessness, freedom. And in your imagination, I don't know if you're scuba diving or snorkeling, but I just know that you feel weightless and relaxed. And you feel far away from any and all worries and tension. And notice that while you're immersed in this experience, there is no thoughts of eating or food, because you're focused on what's around you. Totally immersed. You're being active, but it doesn't feel like exercise. And you feel relaxed, but you don't feel like you're trying to relax. It's just a side effect of being away from it all. And allow your body to just explore. And this is something you know how to do. And therefore you can do it on autopilot. And I'm sure once or twice you've had the experience of being underwater and then just going off into a bit of a daydream while you're under the surface of the water. And I want you to imagine what would happen if you're doing that now. You've got all the oxygen you need to just relax underwater. And I want you to imagine that while your body's underwater, your mind is thinking about your future. And in particular, I want you to think about 2 key thoughts. I want you to think of a person that you would deem to have low standards. Maybe related to family life, work life, personal hygiene, it doesn't matter, but just someone that you would deem to have low standards. So low standards that they don't care about the health and safety of other people, but crucially, they don't care about the health and safety of themselves. The leading cause of death is now lifestyle choices. Heart disease, cancers, all accelerated or influenced by lifestyle choices. And a few years ago, diet overtook smoking as the leading cause of lifestyle choice that leads to an early death. And inside your imagination, I want you to think of what it would be like to be reckless with lifestyle choices related to food. I want you to get a sense of someone like that would completely disconnect between cause and effect. They might just look at some food and think that it's a good price and tastes nice, and that's all they need to think of to buy that food and eat that food. In fact, they probably do similar things when thinking about the health and safety in different environments. What's easy, what's convenient, and have no idea of possible consequences in the future. And some people might do the same thing with their family life. What makes them feel good? What's an easy choice to make? If it's there in front of them and it seems like a good idea, they'll do it, even if the consequence of that is damaging to others. And as you see this person being reckless with their lifestyle choices when it comes to food, I want you to start to see similarities between you and them. That the missing thing is that they don't think about the future consequences of that choice. As you think about that beach on the Maldives, it would be easy for someone to eat some food, drink a bottle of something, and just leave it there on the beach, even though that could lead to shards of glass in the sand that then cut someone's leg. I want you to get a sense of just how important it is to think about the consequence of choices. And if your unconscious mind is starting to join the dots between cause and effect, choice and consequence, let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to see this person that you don't respect at all, making reckless choices with health and safety, reckless choices about personal hygiene, reckless choices about their family, but also reckless choices about their food choices. All they have to do is see what they want, decide that they like it, think the price is okay, and that's it. And I want you to realize that's you. That's how you've been making choices. And you know people that will only do certain things if they're coerced to, threatened, put pressure on. And I want you to get a sense that in certain areas of your life, nobody has to tell you to do certain things because of the consequences. You just simply know the consequences or possible consequences. And in fact, you take pride in joining the dots between cause and effect, choice and consequence. And as you start to realize how much pride it gives you, that the reason why you've been successful is that you intuitively joined the dots. You see other people, and their families are different to yours, and their careers are different to yours, and it dawns on you that you've been rewarded by associating into possible consequences and sometimes making choices that aren't in your interest in the short term to help you in the long term. And then you realize that actually it's made you feel good all this time, doing what others won't do or can't do. And if your unconscious mind accepts that actually this has given you a sense of identity and significance and feeling of importance and personal pride, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And for some reason you can't work out why you haven't always applied this to yourself. how can it be this person, so good at health and safety, hasn't been joining the dots on his own health and safety? For someone that takes so much pride on being a provider, how can someone provide if they're not alive to do it? And while you're there in this daydream state, I want you to imagine what it would be like to pay no regard to consequences when it comes to food, to eat what you like simply because the food possibly tastes good and it's cheap enough to just guzzle it down. I want you to imagine what 5 or 10 years of doing that would do. See yourself getting bigger, heavier, sicker. See yourself not enjoying retirement, but just sitting and eating yourself into an early grave. And at the point where you feel enough is enough and that is not the you that you want to be, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And imagine rewinding all of that now and seeing yourself as you are right now. And I want you to step into that version of you as you are now, just in your imagination, but applying those same high standards that you have in other areas of your life to making food choices. Feel like you're in your body, but you're linking up those neural pathways. So those same ways of thinking when it comes to health and safety and thinking about your family, you are now doing when it comes to your own future. And I want you to imagine that you're walking into perhaps a petrol station, convenience counter, maybe with the intention of getting some milk, and I want you to see a flavour of crisps that reminds you of your childhood, a particular flavour perhaps. You see them, get a good feeling thinking about this flavour you had when you were a child. You see the price, cheap enough. But I want you to add one additional ingredient in. The consequence of having low standards when it comes to food. Make an image, a movie in your mind as to what that future looks like. Maybe you see yourself old and sick, overweight, diabetic. Maybe you see yourself having a heart attack. I want you to see the consequences or possible consequences of a future with low standards. Perhaps you can see your family needing to fend for themselves. Or perhaps the accidents that happen because you're not there to ensure health and safety standards are high enough. I want you to get a sense of what it's like if you're not there to influence it. And as you do so, then I want you to see when you really associate into the consequences of having low standards, it occurs to you how you do one thing is how you do everything. If the toilets don't work in the aeroplane, people worry about the engines. And if people make bad choices when it comes to one food they eat, they tend to make bad choices in other areas of their life. And as you raise your standards, notice that you get a better feeling of personal pride than you can ever get from the taste of that food. By seeing it and deciding you don't want it, feels better than actually eating it. And I want you to test it out in your head. By seeing it, saying that you could eat it but that you don't want it, makes you feel so good. Feel where that feeling is there inside you. Make it bigger, more intense. That's right. Feel how good it feels to be discerning, You are discerning in so many areas of your life, and now you are discerning when it comes to food choices. And discernment is simply where choices meet standards. And with your higher standards, it becomes easier to make more discerning choices. And if all parts of your unconscious mind already know how to be discerning when it comes to food and the choices you make, let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to imagine what a future the next 10 to 15 years looks like by being discerning. What you lose in weight, you gain in energy, vitality, and confidence. It almost seems to be that you're aging in reverse. You look healthier, happier, and stronger as you age by being discerning. When you see people guzzle down food that's low in nutrition, it reminds you of perhaps people you've used to work with that couldn't care less about certain standards. Isn't it true that in the past, part of your identity has come from how you've compared yourself with other people? That will continue to happen in this area too. You take pride in who you are and also notice how you're different from other food choices that other people make. That makes you feel good. Because it isn't the case that just because you see something, you have to consume it. You've seen other people take drugs before and you've not needed to take drugs. You've seen other people smoke before and have no desire to smoke. And you will see other people offer you food, snacks, or eat them yourself and get a sense of pride that you have high standards and can be discerning enough to say no. Knowing that it isn't waste, because by saying no now, they won't offer you them in the future, and therefore there is no waste. If all parts of your subconscious mind agree to raise your standards, to become more discerning, and to think about the possible consequences of food choices, just let me know by nodding your head. Because as you think about consequences of food, you will notice that certain foods enable you to see a future of a healthy, fun retirement. You might just look at an apple, and in those split seconds before you pick that apple up, you see yourself perhaps being on a beach in the Maldives, looking fit and healthy and able to enjoy your retirement. And maybe you see a keto-friendly meal like bacon and eggs or avocado and steak, and in those split seconds you'll get a picture, a movie of yourself in the future with more energy, leaner, stronger, healthier, able to fight off infection easy because your immune system is strong. There'll be other foods that give you different images of the future. Images high in consequence. Those highly processed, snacky foods will give you glimpses of a future that is not you anymore. A future of what low standards looks like, and that's not you. And then realize that this is just your imagination while you're diving underwater in the seas of the Maldives. Perhaps you see a fish or a small shark swim by, and it reminds you, there you are, feeling how good it feels to be healthy and enjoying your body. Your body is your machine, and you have all the desire now to keep it in the best possible condition. That the same health and safety rules you've been applying to other people will now apply to you, thinking of your future, thinking of your health, and avoiding risks and consequences. And then you realize that this, being under the water, is just a dream within a dream, and actually, perhaps you're in a hammock or a sun lounger on the beach, listening to the waves break on the shore. And I want you to imagine getting up and walking down the beach, feeling that something is different. That you've arrived at this beach with certain standards and now you leave with higher standards. You will have a crystal ball able to see the future inside your mind's eye effortlessly and intuitively when you think about certain foods. And it becomes easy to make great choices just by connecting the dots as you do in so many other areas of your life. And again, you recall, this is just a thought within a thought, a dream within a dream, an idea within an idea, and actually, you are in the present. In your physical body, listening to my voice in your ears right now, taking a deep breath in, and knowing you are exactly where you are right now, firmly in the present. All normal sensations returning to your arms and legs, and in a few moments' time, I will count from 1 to 10. You will awaken feeling highly resourceful, feeling that your standards have raised, feeling like enough is enough and that old you doesn't apply anymore, reconnecting with that part of you that took pride in making excellent food choices, that loved receiving those compliments as you lost weight and gained energy, fitness, and self-esteem. You are reconnecting those neural pathways that are already there. You already know how to do this, but you are awakening that discerning standards that you have in so many areas of your life. You will awaken feeling optimistic and excited to show the world that you can apply high standards in all areas of your life. And you look forward to making sure that hypocritical version of you is a part of your past and not your future. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.